36, and this is Big Games BS, part of the Media Group, presented by the MFTK Foundation.com. One of those mornings. MFTKFoundation.com is the go-to website for all things MFTK related. Again, so we got big game. We got the book bag drive coming up. Still about 2,000 short of the goal. We got some other things that have popped up as well with the MFTK Foundation. But let's go ahead and start our show off the same way we start each and every show off with the word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
What's going on? Jaden, you want to take us through what we got going on for the show today?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Big Games BS here on Wednesday, August 5th. It's your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. We have our MFTK segment to kick off our show like we normally do, and then we're going to dive into some college football talk. We got some variety of topics. We're going to be touching from FSU to Miami and for other programs all across the nation as well. Before we step into the world of the NFL, we're going to start with the home team, Duval's team, the Jaguars. Got some quick topics to touch on before we talk about a lot of important paydays for these NFL players, in particular, Bijan Robinson and Zay Flowers. We're also going to talk about wide receiver, running back, and tight end trios, talk about the Hall of Fame game and the starters and some more players, and list Twitter before we finish off our show with our BS or Bussin' food review segment, part of our Big Games BS section. So, excuse me, first things first, let's get this shared with you guys on the screen so we can look at some dates and get some more information, some more support for the Community Give Back Weekend. James, how can people donate to the cause, volunteer, or just get their hands on the Community Give Back Weekend?
jcolemanGivesBack.com is the website to go to be able to register for the volunteer and to make sure you get your book bags. Anybody want to donate, they can go to mftkfoundation.com/donate, or you can go to mftk36 on Cash App. You can bring bags. You can bring stuff to donate to the FSU booster function tomorrow, or you could just try to get up with me to do that. We do need to stuff these backpacks and move things forward. So that's those are all the different things. Or you could Zelle the numbers up there for you to be able to Zelle. Trying to get this thing done. We got a busy weekend. We have that on Saturday. We have a scrimmage on Saturday, potentially, and then we have our kickoff classic, the Florida Elite 13. Both boys play on Sunday in Kissimmee at Austin Tyndale Park, and Kai's at 10:30 a.m. Trey is at 4:30. But yeah, the weekend is here. A couple days away. Once Wednesday hit, the week's basically over. So in my world, so.
You also got this post right here, about the Stingrays right here on your timeline as well. Talk to us about what are you looking for in the Stingrays with the MFTK Stingrays.
That first and that last game is a doozy. That's a lot going into those two games right there. We will play we do play Miami Garden Cowboys, not the Miami Guard, not Flock. We play another team on Sunday, but Trey Man, United CME, they're out of Gainesville, Florida. They're pretty well known. The Bay Area Jags, I believe that's the Coach 813, who does a lot of stuff on social media. He's pretty funny, but that game will be. I think everybody we're pretty much like, except for like West Orlando Jazz are like that. We're still formulating our team. We're gonna struggle early, but I think I see in those bye weeks we're gonna actually put 2 local teams on there that don't go against our record for Florida Elite. But I think we're a 6-2 ball club. I think we make the playoffs year one out the gate. And that's all I want to do is be able to see some elite talent. And Florida Elite has some really, really good talent. We've got some kids that are really, really good on the skill positions. We're still trying to get in the trenches. But if I can get some guys who aren't afraid to hit a bitch, like they ain't got to at least pinch a bitch. We got some quarterbacks that can fling it. We got some guys that can go get it, and we're gonna gotta kind of formulate some names and some things that will help our guys be really, really good. So like I'm really excited about the season. I wasn't excited until last Thursday. Last Thursday when we finally had a bunch of kids show up, and then the practices get spirited. So we should be pretty decent. Go out there and put together a good product. So if you're in the Orlando area, come check us out on Sunday. Come hang out with your boy, holla at your boy. If you're in the Tampa area, you see the 2 dates that we're going to be in Tampa. Come holla at your boy. Let's get things going.
Let's kick off this FSU topic with a good list for you guys. Now, I want to ask everybody in the chat and James to think of their favorite Seminoles of all time and try to make the list 1 through 5. I know it can be really, really tough, but this graphic right here posed a good question. And this person right here got Ward Dunn, Peter Ward, Marvin Jones Sr., Charlie Ward, and Dion as their top 5 Seminoles of all times. And I was wondering, James, if you had to make a top 5 Seminoles list, who would be on your list?
Jameis would definitely be on that list. That's one thing. The funniest thing about this is it's all Bobby heavy, but nobody ever puts Fred Biletnikoff in. Anybody know who? Like they got a whole award named after him, and nobody ever puts Freddie B up there. But I'm not mad at it. I probably wouldn't put. I love Shade Tree. Shade Tree's not more beloved than Derrick Brooks, so I'm not even going to pretend on that one. Even though Shade Tree is definitely that guy. Yeah, I think the only thing is I would say Shade off, and I'll put Jameis there. But I think, and I don't know if those are ranked or if it's just 5 players. Ward Dunn definitely is not number 1. No, I think Charlie Ward would be the number 1, but Ward Dunn definitely is top 5. Ward Dunn is one of the top 5 human beings that ever lived, that ever walked the planet. Some of the things that he's been able to do. So, I like the list. Obviously, we're in list Twitter. Shout out to my guy Pete. Pete's good people. But I think that's not a bad list. I mean, it's arguable with a couple spots, but outside of that, nah, man, those are 5 really, really solid Noles. And what you gonna like? What can you do? What can you take away from that? So,
man, I'm surprised William Floyd didn't pop up on your list, James.
You wanted my 5?
Yeah, your 5. Your 5.
Okay, Charlie's number 1. Jameis, Dub, bar none, T-Book.
There we go.
Those are my top 5 Noles.
Solid.
There's not a place where primetime is a top 5-0 for me. Not a big primetime fan, but that's personal. Like as far as a player, he's that guy. But I think T-Buck statistically and impactfully just as good, if not better. Actually, his stats are better though, but the impact part at Florida State, I just think T-Buck did everything that Deion did silently. So.
Shout out to all the Seminoles we just mentioned, all the greats of the greats, because this list right here is a great one as well. And everybody in the chat, who are some of your favorite Seminoles off the top of your head? We did list a couple, but there may be some we missed out on, but super, super, super great football players we were discussing. So shout out to all the Seminoles who made each and everyone's list. James, our ops head coach, got an extension down in Miami. So Mario Cristobal gets an extension with the Miami Hurricanes, according to Brett McMurphy. You can see right here, he is on a contract he signed in 2021, and Miami decided to give Cristobal that extension with the appearance in the national championship last season, hoping to win the Natty this season. But do you think this is a good move for Miami to offer Cristobal an extension? And obviously with the landscape of college football and the buyouts and everything like that, what do you think is going to happen with Miami and the Cristobal situation from this point on?
I think it's I think it's smart. I mean, if he's hot, you're coming fresh off a national championship runner-up. Your recruiting has been very, very good, and so this makes sense. This is how you do it. Like I mean, we can laugh and we can joke about how this is kind of similar to what Florida State did, where it might be too fast, but at the same breath, this is what you kind of do. Like I don't see Mario going somewhere else, but like it makes sense. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think it's a good move. Good for him. Kudos to him.
We will report on the details of the extension once the information does get released. Assuming it will come from Brett McMurphy as well from On3. But just to reiterate, Miami and head coach Mario Cristobal have agreed to a long-term contract extension. So shout out to Mario for getting that bread, and shout out to Miami for being able to give him that bread as well. And speaking of college football programs and Brett McMurphy, Costco has been serving college football fans the right way for these programs specifically. So Costco is selling discounted tickets for South Carolina, Washington, Louisville, Tulane, FAU, Temple, and UConn home games, plus some other teams as well. So tickets vary with $11.99 all FAU home games to $202.99, Indiana at Washington, Penn State at UW, and some include $20 food and beverage credit or parking as well. So shout out to Costco, man, for doing these collabs with these schools right here.
Shout out to Costco in general. I bought a Costco card, so I have I put it through the nonprofit, so I'm able to get my stuff, man. Like the stuff is like Costco is fire, bro. Like y'all didn't tell me Costco was that fire. Like I might just go to Costco once a week, like just to hang out. Like it just seems like a really cool place to go. Like you get. If you're a Glizzy fan, they got a Glizzy there, man. The Glizzy is huge. Wow. Pause. It's but I would just sit there for like there was 100-inch screen TV. There was like all kinds of stuff that I would just like, I could just see myself buying. But like I'd also like now I can go, so you see all the chocolate milks in the fridge? Yeah. Like so now the boys got their protein. each one of those things was like $18. It's like 24. Like that's properly, like they can drink 2 of them, but still it's cheaper than buying protein.
That's facts. How much protein?
It's like a poor man's protein shake is chocolate milk. So like if they drink that before they go to bed or right after a workout, man, we got something rolling. Trey over here trying to make the product better than what it is by adding protein. So I'm like, no, son, drink this now and then get something later, dog. But like, I'm literally at my like I'm about to do. I'm gonna add a segment because I'm straight up stealing this, and this is gonna have the women come after us. But there's a guy named Sauce Daddy Drip on IG. He does Stay-at-Home Dad Chronicles. And he cooks and he prepares. He just talks about how easy it is to be a stay-at-home dad. And he doesn't say it's bad. He doesn't say it's like, he's like, I've worked in corporate America. I've done this. He's like, I stay at home. I homeschool my kids. This is the easiest fucking job I've ever had in my life. If you like time everything, like if you have good time management. And he didn't say anything wrong. But like, oh, they are on his ass, bro. Like, pause. But like I'm sitting here and I was just looking at it and I was like, the idea of saving, I don't even know if I'm saving money, but the idea of getting the most from bang for my buck literally was like fueled me. Now, if Florida, like I get season tickets already from FSU or through the Gator Bowl. But like if I knew I could go to Costco, and I get 2% cash back with my thing, right? I could like if I knew I can go buy some tickets for the family for $11.99 and get a $20 food voucher, like now we're taking it up a step. The thing is like if I was one of those places, Jaden, can you pull it back up for me real quick? If you don't mind, like I do have some questions. It's not, they weren't season tickets, they were per game tickets, right? Damn, that thing is blurry right now. It's not giving me the. All right, yeah, cool. So, well, FAU, like if I'm one, is anybody really an FAU fan? Like, I don't know, but like to 202 Indiana at Washington, that's not a cheap ticket. Georgia, I'm not saving any money paying $202.99 for Indiana at Washington and Penn State at Washington. Like, you know, my bad, tiny hat. Like, but you went to FAU, but you're an FSU fan. Like, you're not going to season. My bad. I don't mean to interrupt the FAU fan. But like if I knew for $11.99, that ain't bad. I'll go and do what I need to do. But like, I'm not paying $202 to go watch Indiana at Washington or Penn State at Washington, just in general. So like, maybe it's not as, maybe it's one of those things that sound good, like buying, like sometimes like they do sell shit that it just seems like overkill. Like do you really need 1,000 markers even if it's $10? But like it is but like that's that's a good idea. But Costco is dope. I love Costco. Now I'm gonna go once a week to Costco and just catch vibes.
Speaking of vibes, Dylan Raiola talked about the vibes of Nebraska, and he has gone viral. So he said, quote, "There's not cornfields here in Oregon. There's mountains and trees, and I love nature. As far as football, it's different. You know, with coaches and players, we have a lot more talent than we did at Nebraska. I don't say that to knock on them, but I think everybody will know that."
So I don't like things like this. He's not wrong. Oregon is a better program than Nebraska at this juncture. But Dylan, you were a 5-star prospect out of Buford, Georgia, if I remember correctly. You decided you could have went anywhere. You chose to go to Nebraska and be baby Patrick Mahomes. Because this is the one that everybody says like literally stole Patrick Mahomes' whole aura, word for word, bar for bar. Light skin with the hair, all that dumb shit that he was doing. So like, I don't like the fact that of what he said. Especially when you literally glowed up. Like he's like those people who you see have success after a breakup that were the reason why the breakup happened. Like I hate those people. Like, you know, even like social media relationships, like I don't want to see them flourish. Like it was your fault. Like I like the other person. Like I don't now granted, the first time in my life, I don't like agreeing with Matt Rule. I don't want to be in a world where I agree with Matt Rule. And we talked about Matt Rule on Monday. And Matt Rule had this about college football being more exciting. And I think Matt Rule is the hypocrisy that is every college coach. And what I mean by that is like this man just like stays saying shit. Like he says that he was at Temple. He's like, I don't really see it. Oh no, he was at Baylor. I don't see a need to do anything better than that. I don't like coaches that jump everywhere. And then he goes to the NFL. And then he goes from the NFL to Nebraska. He fails forward. But Dylan didn't do anything to make you were a 5-star prospect, and everybody in Nebraska thought that you were going to be the savior, going to be one of those guys that really brings Nebraska back, which is a great program. And if he would have won in Lincoln, he could have probably ran for definitely mayor, but could have definitely ran for governor of Nebraska if he would have been able to win anything. But you weren't. And there was a lot of hopes tied to you. Then you bounce. And then now you talk about, about the talent and how much better Oregon is. With another coach that just essentially has talent year in and year out, but cannot win the big game. Not just him, but like just Oregon in general, going all the way back to Chip Kelly. And I think his comments were unnecessary, and not like the worst things you could say, but it's like, why throw shots when at a place? And but this is why I think fans get mad that athletes don't have the same passion and fever that fervor, as what the players do. And Dylan is a reason why. I'm just not a big fan of that. And I guess my question would be is, can a player leave a program and speak honestly like this, or say it's honestly because he's at Oregon, even though I think he's not lying, but can a player speak like this without having some semblance of being disloyal? Like, what do you think about that, Miles?
I was actually working myself.
Oh, my bad. What do you think about that, Jaden? Then you were listening. You there, Jaden?
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm here. Got my mic set up, but I think it depends how you left as well, because obviously he had really high expectations, and Nebraska, in my opinion, is one of the most historic fan bases, one of the most historic teams in college football. So when you come in like that swinging, and then obviously trying to emulate Patrick Mahomes doesn't help you at all. And not getting those big wins under your belt doesn't help at all. So I think with him not winning definitely leaves a sour taste in the mouth, because if they made the college football playoff and got knocked out in the first round, I mean, that would have been at least something compared to whatever they did when he was there. I know it wasn't that good. So I think winning honestly would have helped his case better. But yeah, just the backhanded discussion regarding Nebraska is, I don't know. I don't really like it as well.
Yeah, definitely don't like the underhanded, like not underhanded, backhanded compliment type shit. But That's why I like the NFL is, like I said, that's one of the things that college will eventually get around to being like that. But it's kind of like my man, what Plaxico just say, like the jet compared the Jets to his prison term. Like, but yeah, we can go on to the next thing. Fuck Dylan Crayola.
The 2026 coaches poll has came out. We are definitely in the season of preseason polls, and the coaches poll has broke the internet. So shout out to CFB Kings, and they have Ohio State in the coaches poll preseason as number 1. Oregon at 2. Speaking of Dylan, Georgia 3, Texas 4, Notre Dame, Indiana, Miami at 7, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Bama, Texas Tech, LSU, USC, BYU, Michigan, Penn State, Tennessee, Washington, SMU, Utah, Iowa, Clemson, Houston, and Missouri. James, we don't see Florida on this list. Usually Florida has been in the preseason polls, but Florida is not on this list. Miami, the only school representing the big 3 in Florida on this list. But what do you think about some of the teams on this list, including Houston, 24, Washington at 19, and even Penn State at 17?
I think those are the Penn State, but I guess having Campbell be the new coach, they're expecting like he's a good coach, and they're expecting it to translate over to them with that. I'll say Penn State, Washington, Missouri. At a certain point, we got to stop this shit with Missouri. Like, Missouri got their ass whooped by Virginia in one of the most boring bowl games I've ever been a part of. Shout out to the Gator Bowl. You'll be seeing us do our Tax Slayer Gator Bowl Drive the Selection Show presented by Toyota here in a couple weeks. Indiana, I think, is adequately ranked considering they have a lot to replace, but even though they are still a very, I wouldn't say talented, but well coached team. They're going to be very good in there, but their schedule is a one game season essentially for them. I think they do have another matchup against the Ohio State. Texas is a team that I'm just tired of giving top. I wouldn't rank if I was Sark. I wouldn't want to be ranked this high until I prove. Put my boy Tiny Hat up there, KP9317. I got to get Tiny. Me and Tiny Hat got to do some work this year. I'm tired of talking about this shit. I need my bad. I almost called you a house word. We need you to make sure you're in Doak Campbell on when we play SMU for the tailgate that should be released today or tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't have that stuff done. But why can't we get rid of preseason rankings? This is what slants the actual college football rankings from the start. And I agree. We have 10 SEC teams in the top 25. You have Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, Michigan, Penn State, USC. Utah's in the Big 12. Never mind. So you have 10 you have 10 SEC teams. You have 6 Big 10 teams. You know what? Let me give my big game. I need to go ahead and push myself and do more. And I need to do a the Sports Den rankings. Miles, I need you to hold me accountable for that. We will have our Sports Den rankings to be able to publish. Like our college ranking, we'll do our college football, we'll do our NFL power. We're going to do everything that everybody else does. But go ahead, put that poll back up there real quick, Jaden. I'm just trying to, because I have never believed the SEC is the best conference in football. Call me a hater, and that's fine. I actually will agree with you. But if you ask me, Illinois is better than Tennessee. I believe Iowa is better than Tennessee. I believe. Shoot, okay. Maybe it is only 6 teams. Wait a minute, hold up. Hold up. Oh, my bad. There's 7 teams. Then my fault. I didn't realize I forgot Washington is a part of that. That's on me. And that might be about right. That might, because I'm not going to put Rutgers, Purdue, Nebraska, Minnesota with all of what they lost. Michigan's ranked too high, in my opinion, but they still deserve to be top 25. Maryland still has a good coach, but they're just, not good coach, excuse me. No, they don't. I'm thinking of Rutgers. Maryland has my brother, the black coach that should have been fired years ago. I don't think those 10 teams, I think I would rather see some G6 teams get a little bit of love. Miami, SMU, Clemson. So we have 3 ACC teams. Do I believe there's another ACC team that should be in that? Oh, by the way, anybody notice that FSU has had 3 first place votes to win the conference? I can tell you straight up who 2 of those first place votes were from. And that was me and Steve definitely gave definitely gave first place votes. I was not voting for anybody else. I think if you're going to get Missouri in there, I wouldn't mind taking Virginia Tech at 25 or Georgia Tech, because I believe that their coaches actually do something. But I would like to see, so right now we have BYU's a Big 12, so they're not I would love to see a James Madison that's consistently been able to do their different things. I would love to see some of these G6 schools start getting a little bit, the good ones getting more love, as opposed to keep putting like Alabama is not the 11th best team in the nation. I don't give a fuck if they went to, they got their ass whooped by Florida State, and they got their ass whooped. Like, I thought the Florida State ass whooping should have been worse, but Indiana straight up prison styled them. There was no love. There was no sweet nothings whispered in their ear. It was just straight up and then that's because, remember, Miles, we looked into it because the dude who ran out of the back of the end zone as a quarterback analyst said that that the quarterback for Alabama was the best quarterback prospect in this draft, even though we see him sucking ass with the Rams. They're saying he's not even the 4th best quarterback on that Rams roster. It's very embarrassing. He looks terrified. He looks like somebody's like that. That is nepotism. I'm not mad at his father for using his connections to be able to get his son love. But you guys talk about Bronny James. No more. Bronny at least looks like he can. It might not be great, but Bronny can at least function as a basketball player in the pros. This guy looks like you put my 7-year-old on an NFL roster. But anyways, I'm going back. I don't think Alabama should be there. I think I can see why Oklahoma's up there. Ohio State has the best team in college football with the Super Saiyan guy at quarterback and arguably the best high school prospect to have come out in quite some time until Bryson Wright comes out and J.J. Smith. But let me see if there's any other things I want to talk about on that. It just gives SEC teams an unfair advantage, and I believe these polls should not exist. I don't know if they should. At least give me the first 4 weeks of the season before we make our poll, and then I'm fine with it. After that, who do y'all think is the most overrated team? Who do you think is the most overrated team on that list, Jaden?
I would say Missouri, just because we've always been seeing them linger, and they obviously are one of the teams that boost up the quote unquote like SEC's domination over the other conferences. And I definitely agree. Missouri is the number 1 for me. And if I had to put a number 2, my dark horse might be on this list. Iowa, if I had to say so as well. I mean, they have great players, but in terms of team success, I don't really think it's they've gotten to where they want to be, but they've obviously had dudes come in into the NFL like Cooper DeJean and everything like that. So I would say those two teams.
Can Texas Tech with the new rule get their quarterback back from last year?
I would assume no.
Because or was he past the 5th year thing? I don't know. But like, why is Texas Tech at 12 when DraftKings isn't on their roster? Like, he was the number one quarterback for a reason. Like, was their team that loaded that they feel like they could just put anybody back there and just that bitch could throw it and somebody's gonna be open? Fuck it, somebody's down there. Curious to those things. Yeah, sexy. Before we get into the next thing, just want everybody to just chill out for a second. Take a time right now. We need some music for this right here too. Like when I do this, like please go jam the like button. Subscribe if you're listening. If you're on one of the most of the people who are on Twitter right now, you can just take a quick break and just go and subscribe to the page. Check us out for a lot of different things that we have going on. That would be my thoughts on that, but yeah, I'm about to say like that sounds like some wild shit. A little bit more empty. Oh man, okay. Oh, that's one of my favorite. That's one of the greatest songs of all time. That should be. That's what we need to do for Noah. If we ever find Noah highlights, like Noah Kanega. Jaden, did you see the like you? No, Jaden made the list, so I know he heard the lady with the national anthem. Like that is the greatest national anthem of all time. Oh, but all right, we go to the next thing.
Yeah, it was definitely something. And just want to reiterate on this list right here, USC and Notre Dame have officially renewed their rivalry with games scheduled in 2030, 2031, and 2032 and 2033. So we're going to be seeing more rivalries between them and James as we finish off.
I don't. That is forever, dog. Like
Yeah.
Like actually, man, that's like when. So Trey will get a chance to, if he goes to like a Notre Dame, he'll get a chance to participate in that rivalry or something like that because that's a long time. But that's a rivalry that I do remember watching as a pup. That's fun. They got to do what's best for the college. Like everybody talks about all this shit. It's time to force Notre Dame to pick a side. Like you either gonna join a conference or you're gonna be outside and nobody gives a fuck about your feelings anymore.
Akron football has decided to do something crazy for this upcoming season. So Akron football's X account posted this. Make history and be the lucky season ticket holder to design the opening drive of the home opener when Akron face off against Robert Morris. So you can be the OC for the opening drive. So one lucky fan will be able to script the opening drive in our home opener. And with the asterisk, you can look at the bottom with the head coach, of course. This hasn't been done before, but we're not crazy. You get an extra chance to win with every new season ticket holder you refer and random drawing among season ticket holders. The drawing will be held on August 19th.
One of the things that's really, really funny about this is one, I agree with. It's going to be, they're not giving you an opportunity to draw up the game plan. They're going to give you like 4 plays to pick from or something like that so you can script it. But like, they're not finna just let you just go out there and say, okay, the first play of the game, I'm doing 34 belly, fullback dive. Like, they're not letting you do that shit. Like, I can promise you that real quick. But there'll be it'll be controlled or measured, I hope. Second, how disrespectful is that to your opponent? You should beat that team, but you're Akron. Third, it's kind of genius. Like, I would like to be in that. But you're going to also, that fan is going to learn really, really quick how much pressure it is in calling plays. It is not as easy as you think it is. Because you got to call the play, but then you have to immediately be thinking about the next play or what's going to happen. And it's a lot going on, the crowd and big plays and this and that and the other, or turnover or something. Like, you have to know exactly kind of what you want to do, and you have to have a working knowledge. It's not, you have to know what coverages are. You have to know what a team's base defense is. What are we good at? What works against the odd front? What works against the even front? What works because I got cats. I got better cats than that other person has. What coverage are they in? Are they in 1? Are they in cover 3? Are they in cover 3? Are they in cover 5? The thing that people lie about, like they know about, cover 7. Are they in cover 2? Are they in cover 4? Are they in man? Do they have a robber concept coming? Do they have are they rolling coverage? Are they in cloud? Which cloud is two different coverage, they're two different coverages on depending upon how many receivers are over here. What happens when I motion 4 wide receivers to one side? Do they shift? Do they shift to something? What happens if I go 2 by 2? What happens if I'm in 22 personnel? What happens if I'm in 12 personnel? What happens if I'm in 11 personnel? What happens if, like, it's just so many different scenarios than just going in here and just pushing X and then it works. But I do like the idea if that is going to get more people wanting to spend, like I said, for my season ticket package, it's about $2,400, right? I assume Akron's, and I got like 8 tickets. I'm assuming that Akron's season ticket package isn't that much money, right? That's an assumption. I could be wrong. I've never attended Akron games. But if you told me, James, we pay $2,400 and you get to put the Waffle House, get on the sideline with the Waffle House menu, I've spent money on worse. Like, that's not that'd be a cool story, like, to be able to tell your friends. And then imagine what happens if you drive down and you score. Like, do you know the bragging rights, like, that you're going to tell at the local Akron watering hole? Like, you'll make ESPN, they'll do a story about you, they'll do all kinds of different things. You're 15 minutes, $2,400 for the potential to have 15 minutes of fame. I know a lot of people will pay for that. I think that would be a cool story. They wilding though, but I do think that would be fun. What are some of the responses in the comments to that, Jay? Like, can we see, like, maybe, obviously it doesn't matter if it's clean or not. Shit. Like, we're here. Like, that's definitely. What about the Florida State guy that was behind our sideline in the stands with the Waffle House menu and the fake headset on? Like, imagine just I'm going to go I would go Mickey Andrews style for offense. Like, give me some big league chew and just chew and act like I'm very intense. Put that up there. Would you go Michael Irvin style on all fours? Which I never want to be that big of a fan of anything. Blow that up. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Playmaker. And I'm sorry, Miami fan. But my man is on all fours with his booty tooted up in the air. Like, he was like sweating with the Stanford game when they went into, like, when it was like close or whatever. And I'm just like, there's nothing in this world that I care about that much to where I'm just going to be like that. But I love that Miami entertains their crackheads like this, because this is the type of things that we need everybody, you know what? Speaking of, hold on, before we get into the next thing, Jay, have you seen the do-rag and the bonnet debate that's been going on social media?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, I love how people like to talk about this, but they don't talk about there was a time when when coaches wore full suits. The old Cowboys coach had a fedora on the sideline. Like, if we're gonna challenge the kids to be more professional, damn it, I want to see it across the board. Imagine right now you see Mike Norvell in his Sunday best, looking open casket sharp. Some fans will like that. They'll be like, we already a dead program. Might as well go ahead and just dress up like for the occasion. Imagine making every coach wear a suit. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with making America great again. You know what I want to do? I had a coach do this. When this is how I know we got some character going on with my team. I don't mind it. The kids are around it anyway. They need to be around it. Their lungs are too weak. We had a coach smoking a black and mild the other day on my park ball team. Not on the high school team, but on the park ball team. It's like, hey, it's kind of wild, but he seems to be, but I need coaches. Seems to be a great guy. I personally wouldn't mind having a fucking cigar in my mouth and cussing out a kid with a cigar in my mouth. Like men were men. We used to fight war. What is it? We used to fight wars. We're about to start doing that in a minute, but anyways, though, I just think that was funny. We're going into that, but going into the NFL, right now it looks like, and you know what we got here. We talk about Mr. Buff. I am just impressed with just how this man's been working out. Like, but go ahead, Jaden.
So, according to Jay Fowler, ESPN, Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen said this about Travis Hunter's offensive usage. He says, quote, "We will package him in as opposed to, look, bro, you've got to know the whole offense. That was a little bit much last year."
No shit. And no shit, Sherlock News. Who said this the entire time since he's been drafted? James, what do you think, Travis? Put him over there at defense and packages, or put him, like, whichever one you put him in, you got to put him in one full time and you create packages for the guy. And that makes sense. Now, Travis, he does look like he actually could go up against your number one wide receiver and allow him to compete. This will help because again, you're only getting so many offensive plays. Like, so you don't need them. Like, give me five. I wouldn't even say 5. Give me no more than 10 plays a game with Travis at wide receiver. Packaging it in, taking our shots, and you'll see him be way more effective. And I think now people will catch, but what you can do is have multiple different ways to be able to do it so that teams don't catch on. Because everybody has tendencies, and they're going to catch on to your tendencies, and you don't. That's what you do not want, is for them to catch on to your tendencies. But I think you can't tell Travis to learn 150 fucking offensive plays and in turn try to learn all of the different defensive things that they're trying to do. There's just not enough time to be able to watch that much film and get that much study and get that much critique so that you can get that much better. It's just not that it's impossible. And anybody who continues to try to push this out, you can tell where their level of football stopped past high school. But I do believe it just gives us some excitement going into camp, some more things to talk about, some more things to be able to look forward to as we continue going down this NFL training camp season as we're going on right now.
We got some news about Parker Washington as well. He has been continuing to turn heads during camp, and everybody has been taking notice of the Penn State wide receivers. So we got this post right here, courtesy of Sleeper once again. And we got some news from Gus on Parker Washington, and this was made yesterday. This post was posted. So, quote, "The ascending Parker Washington continued to impress from an individual standpoint, as he was literally unguardable during 1v1 drills and made a tough catch during red zone drills." It's looking like Parker Washington, from what I've been seeing from the camp news, that he's been getting better and better and looking scarier and scarier for our offense, James. So, man, I'm just super excited to hear the good news from Parker Washington and looking forward to seeing how that wide receiver group will mesh, especially with the news of Travis Hunter getting those packages and with Brian Thomas Jr. hopefully coming back and rebounding from the season he had last year. Jacoby Myers, Brenton Strange. I'm very confident in our wide receiver room, man, if everything goes how it's going.
Very underrated receiver room. And this is also why you're able to package in Travis, because Parker Washington did ascend during that injury time. Jacoby Myers definitely became that guy that we could consistently throw the ball to, that you knew he was going to catch, which also made BTJ become a little bit better. If BTJ goes back to that rookie level, man, you've got a good cheap wide receiver room. Again, with Brenton Strange and then the guys that you drafted coming in as well. Like, it's some good things that are going on here. Now, I don't know if I want to hear Parker Washington is unguardable, though. Like, that makes me a little nervous about my DB room. Or Parker's just gotten that much better, but I like Parker. It definitely puts a lot more hype than probably was necessary, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. So this just puts more onus on, we need Trevor Lawrence to be able to step it up to that next level.
Speaking of next level, shout out to Bijan Robinson, man, because he has gotten paid. So, two-time Pro Bowl selection Bijan Robinson and the Falcons have reached an agreement on a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million. That now will make him the highest paid running back in NFL history. So Robinson will receive a record $51 million in guaranteed money, including $37 million at signing, in a deal that agent Nicole Lynn and the Falcons have been working hard to finish up in recent days. So shout out to Bijan on becoming the highest paid running back in NFL history. And let's look at where he ranks among the greats in the NFL. So he's now the highest paid running back in NFL history, like I mentioned, and he's getting that $22.25 million average annual value. Saquon $20.6, CMC $19 million, Devon Achane $16, Derrick Henry $15, Breece Hall $14.5. So Bijan has now reset the running back market. In my opinion, the best running back in the league did so. So shout out to Bijan and shout out to his agent as well, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. 3-year extension worth up to $75 million.
I can't wait to see what Sonic and Knuckles going to get when it's time for them to get their stuff. But I think he's worth it. Bijan has been one of those guys that's been very, very good. Bright spot, the best player on the Falcons offense right now. The running back position faced a lot of scrutiny because it wasn't being properly utilized. And now that the game is becoming a little bit softer, a little bit sassier, you're seeing the need for a dominant run game, and you're seeing three guys that are a little bit long in the tooth, considering what running backs are doing. Christian McCaffrey, probably the only person on that list who hasn't been able to consistently stay healthy. But when you got Saquon, who's been able to do what he's been able to do with the Eagles in that offense, fitting that offense, you got Derrick Henry, who's an alien, until proven otherwise, able to do the things that he's been able to do. You see the older guys that take care of their body that you don't have to have the drop off, especially if you have an adequate young running back that can take away some of the pressure from off of them. And if they're a 3-tool running back, that means they can run. Obviously, running backs run. They can catch passes out of the backfield, and then they can block. There's no need to take these guys away. They are a good part of the offense, and with the emergence of the RPO coming from the college game, inserting itself into the NFL game, this also makes perfect sense. And when you look at some of the guys that they've been able to draft, you can get things moving forward, and people will be doing well. So those are things that people should be looking forward to in the draft, looking at what Arizona has invested in their running back room, looking at what Vegas did with their guys. A lot of these guys are still, you're still able to get one cheap, and it's still not as much as your top wide receiver, your top quarterback, those things. And as the NFL continues to hit unprecedented numbers when it comes to TV and revenue, it's going to only increase the salary cap. And as the salary cap increases, you're able to pay more players. That's why they're hitting these numbers. But I also want to give a brief shout out to Nicole Lynn. Like, Nicole Lynn took a huge gamble with Christian coming into the game, did his stuff for free. Now she's hit Jalen Hurts. She's hit this guy. She's hit a whole bunch of people with record-setting numbers. But now what I would like to know is, again, the Falcons, when you're thinking about it, you got Smooth Brain and you got Durag. Again, our Durag's professional. But your quarterback position is crazy. Who knows who is going to be, either Tua or Penix. You've got a tight end that's pretty damn good, and you have a wide receiver that's good, but you really don't have any way to connect all of those dots because the Falcons don't give you anything that makes you just say, like, man, this is a sexy ass team that I just want to watch and I want to have faith in. And a lot of that has to do with their quarterback position. So, but Bijan is the bright spot when it comes to that.
Now, you mentioned that the Bijan extension should be no surprise with his performance and especially with his production, but a lot of people had something to say about this player getting paid, Chat and James. That is Zay Flowers, because he got a pretty penny. So he reached an agreement with the Ravens on a 4-year, $140 million extension that includes $108 million guaranteed. So the $35 million per year extension for Zay Flowers ties him with Justin Jefferson in new money average per year. So we see JSN at the top with $42.15 million, Jamar Chase in number 2, Drake London 3, Zay Flowers at 4th, tied with Justin Jefferson, only $1 million above CD Lamb coming in at 6. James, Zay Flowers, he's been one of the bright spots for the receiving core in Baltimore, especially, and he has games where he puts up crazy Madden numbers, and he has some games where you would question if he was even got any bump. But what are your thoughts on Zay Flowers and his production in terms of this new contract he got? Because, man, he's up there with some crazy names.
I don't believe he's worth this, but I do believe he's a good receiver. I don't believe there's a world where he's the top 5. He's a top 5 wide receiver. And that's what he just got paid. I think he the most projects to be the best long term for the Ravens, and can he become more consistent and do all those different things? Yes, but I think you're playing for projection and market inflation at this juncture. And I think this is when franchises get caught messing up shit by doing too much. And I just, when I'm looking at it, he's not that Nick Jigba. He's not Jay Jettas. He's not CeeDee Lamb. I don't even know if he's in NFL Youngboy. But you do secure your target for the quarterback, who apparently is like the number 69th player in the NFL or some shit like that. Lamar Jackson, for him to be able to throw to somebody. But I think this is just too much. And I think in order for this to feel like it really truly paid off, you got to see him and Lamar Jackson truly start making people pay. And I'm not 1,000% sure that that's going to happen.
Definitely. And huge shout out to Zay Flowers again for that 4-year, $140 million extension. But the sweet spot is $108 million guaranteed. So shout out to that guaranteed money. So shout out to Zay Flowers. And we got to show love to a lineman. So we're going to show love to the Bears All-Pro offensive tackle, Darnell Wright. And they have agreed on terms on a new deal to make him one of the NFL's highest paid linemen. So he gets a 4-year, $116 million deal with $93 million guaranteed. So huge shout out to the Bears All-Pro offensive tackle Darnell Wright on getting that chicken, and he's getting $93 million guaranteed money. So shout out to almost $100 million in guaranteed money. Shout out to you and your family, and for sure, shout out to the Bears for giving him that chicken. So shout out to Darnell Wright on getting paid. Shout out to you, man.
The value in just if you have your quarterback and you believe you have your franchise quarterback, you have to have your franchise cornerstone to be able to build around that. Like you have to have somebody to be able to protect them. And that's one of the things that they're doing here. I think one of the old adages about running backs is all running backs look the same behind a terrible line outside of Barry Sanders. But like if you have a good offensive line and he has more time to be able to throw the ball and react, it only makes for you to have a better, more explosive offense. This makes sense. It pays to have to get the big uglies paid. So I think out of all of the different ones that we talked about, this might be the best value of the three contracts that you just presented to me on that one, Jaden.
Gotta protect Caleb Williams, man, because his throws he was making last year in those games were crazy. So hopefully the Bears are looking to keep on keeping on and keep on thriving in that NFC North division. So huge shout out to him again. And James, I know you're gonna make fun of a AFC South opponent because he did something nobody has ever done before. So we're going to talk about Mr. Jalen right here because Jalen is the first ever Guardian Cap signature athlete, a relentless competitor who embodies the mindset behind everything we stand for at Guardian Cap. Jalen is the first ever Guardian Cap signature athlete.
That's interesting. You got a safety that's going to be safety about safety. I think Guardian Caps are the biggest hustle in sports. It doesn't prevent you from getting concussions. It doesn't do anything. Like the way concussions happen are basically it's the speed in which your brain hits your skull, hits the front of your skull, or it's the shock from the hit, which the bite down causes. So like if anything, they should force all players to wear pacifier mouthpieces. A Guardian Cap is like put a pillow on your head and then go again. So 20 miles per hour. And then I don't know how to get you to run 20 miles per hour, but go put a pillow on your head and then go run 20 miles per hour into another object running 20 miles per hour and tell me how much better you feel, how much safer you feel. It's a dangerous sport. You sign up to run into other people. I don't think I'm happy he's getting paid. My son personally would not, unless he says he just wants to wear one, which will be more of a fashion statement. Guardian caps look like those people who wear those big headed caps. Yeah, like that's what it basically looks like. It doesn't do anything. It's just more of appearance, and it's a placebo effect, and it makes people feel better. But it's not doing anything for you. I hope they never make those mandatory though. You gotta put the comments down, Miles. I think it's still saying you gotta scroll. There we go. But like, yeah. Anyways, good for him.
With the recent Bijan contract extension, let's take a look at the highest paid running back, wide receiver, and tight end trios according to BetMGM. So the Falcons are at that number one spot with a value of $260.9 million for their running back, wide receiver, and tight end trio composed of Bijan, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. Then you have the Vikings coming in at number two with $216.5 million. Then the Cowboys at 3 with $210 million. And with the Zay Flowers contract, you got the Ravens, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and I don't even want to say it, man. Don't even want to say his name. So we're going to go to number 5 with the Saints. You at $202.8 million. The Jets at $195.8 million. The Seahawks, the reigning Super Bowl champions, $194.6 million. And finally, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers at $192.7 million. Whew. James, which one of these teams do you think has a high or exceedingly high value for their running back, wide receiver, and tight end trios?
Like high value, like we're getting it, or they paying too much?
Paying too much. Yep.
The number one team. Like that got you absolutely nothing. Like right now on paper, like to be honest with you, this is like making me feel way better about the Jags because there's only one team on here, two technically. If you have if you go with the Ravens, I'll go with the Ravens. The Ravens and the Seahawks are the only two teams on here that are really can like. The Cowboys are the Cowboys until proven differently. The Raiders barely. The one thing that Tomlin was going to always do is go 500. But Seahawks won a Super Bowl, and so one of those guys just got paid. So, like, I mean, it's just like this is proven that just maybe people spend too much money. I don't know.
James, we got some good news coming for this Thursday Hall of Fame game because Jacksonville's own Carson Beck is going to be starting against Kenny Pickett in the Hall of Fame game. This is a QB matchup, the Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals, and Jacksonville's own is going to be that QB. So huge shout out to Carson, man. Huge shout out for getting to start in that Hall of Fame game QB matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I think Carson is going to get out. I think Carson will end up being a starting quarterback toward the middle to the end of the season anyway. So this is giving him some great opportunity to be able to be seen. Cannot wait to watch it. I'll be watching it from a Seminole event, but I still think this is great for Mandarin University. Kenny Pickett, mid. We already know who the quarterback going to be in that situation. The petite, pretty princess will be that guy. But he's trying to fight for a backup spot. I think Carson has at minimum, his backup spot is kind of locked up right there. And I just think he needs to do a really, really good job of what he did in college. Hand the ball off, one. And then make sure you don't make mistakes by trying to force the ball down the field. I think those would be the things that I would be watching for those two guys.
Speaking of the Carolina Panthers, James, it's a good segue. Now that we are on the youngest Hall of Famers all time at the time of induction, I thought this list was super, super crazy when you take a look at some of these names because Luke Kuechly is set to become one of the youngest players to wear a gold jacket at the age of 35. He's only 1 year behind Gale Sayers, who was inducted in 1977. But let's take a look at some other legendary names on this list. Jim Brown, 35. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, 35. Barry Sanders, 36. Earl Campbell and Dick Butkus as well. Kellen Winslow and Lance Allworth at 37. And Darrelle Revis at 38. Man, I couldn't imagine getting inducted into the Hall of Fame under 40 years old. I mean, that's just a crazy, crazy accomplishment. He's on this list with some of the greatest players of all time. So shout out to Luke Kuechly.
Yeah. I think like now it's more like 35 is younger than what it was in 77. Like that, like you're almost dead at that time. Like, you know, just think about how these guys looked. Again, Carl Winslow was in his mid-30s, was supposed to be in his mid-30s on Family Matters. Like, you just, like, you know. But a lot of these guys also went to school at the right age, and they got done at 22. And if you played, you know, you played 6-7 years at a high level, you left. And the NFL, it was easier to make it because there were less people in the NFL. I'll say this, though. I think Luke Kuechly is an amazing football player. I think his career was cut short because of concussions, and I think that's sad. I don't think that's fair to him. But at the end of the day, we got to call it something else then. Like, we got to revote for some of these guys and take into considerations the era of football they played. But Luke Kuechly is not a top 10 linebacker of all time.
Of all time. That's tough. Yeah. What's the first image you think of when you think of that name?
Of Luke Kuechly? I only know Luke Kuechly because I know football.
He's also the guy who cried during that. He's like one of the faces of concussion protocols.
Right. Like I like Luke Kuechly. I think Luke Kuechly is a really good football player. I just don't think he's a Hall of Fame football player. Like just think of, all right, so check. Gale Sayers, right? A lot of y'all probably don't know who Gale Sayers is, but really good running back, like an icon. They make movies and shit about him, right? Jim Brown, like that dude. Not only is he probably one of the best running backs, arguably, he's the greatest lacrosse player that ever lived. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, clearly the best wide receiver when he played. Barry Sanders, the only reason Emmitt Smith broke the all-time rushing record is because Barry Sanders walked away at the height of his career because he didn't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Earl Campbell literally made a man retire. Dick Butkus is what you think of at white linebacker, and that's who Luke Kuechly tried to emulate his game after. If I'm going to be honest with you, he should. Lance Allworth, good. You got to know ball to know him right now, but during his era, it was good. Darrelle Revis, they called it Revis Island. He was one of the first people to start signing those LeBron James deals, the 2 years, 1 year optionals, because he knew he was that good at DB and he wanted to keep getting paid. I'm just going off of these guys on this list. Have they made any movie? They'll make a movie about Luke Kuechly probably later on in life about concussions when his brain is smooth. Oh, yeah. But Luke Kuechly isn't like that guy.
I think like you said, Emmitt Smith is a great example, even though he was fantastic. So maybe not that, but
what I'm saying is Barry Sanders was better than Emmitt Smith, who's in the, like, it's just like when you're going through and you're looking at, like, it's like, I'm not trying to knock him. I'm just saying, like, bro, like,
just for being there long enough, you get compiling
yeah,
stats,
like his numbers are good. We went through this stuff, but it's just like, you know who has a lot of tackles? Foye Oluokun for the Jags. But you know what Foye isn't? And Foye, I don't think Foye is a Hall of Famer. Like when it's all said and done, but his numbers will show that. You know who has a lot of sacks in his career? Calais Campbell. You think Calais Campbell is a Hall of Famer at defensive end? Like, just think of all the great defensive ends that you could think of. Calais Campbell isn't in that top, probably isn't even in your top 20 list. And that's not knocking him. He's a great, like, I think we have to find a way to honor great players, but then have that Hall of Fame room just be like something different. Like when we tell stories of Calais Campbell the way that our fathers told, well, some of y'all didn't grow up with your fathers or your grandfathers, but the way that they talked about Mean Joe Green. Will we talk about him like we talk about Reggie? Will we talk about him like we talk, like, will you talk about, like, is Luke Kuechly on par with Murder Ray?
You want it to have the cachet that, like they said, a separate Hall of Fame.
Right, like, so I'll use myself as an example. There are people who consider me like a really, like they're like no great, and I have to tell them, like, yo, or no legend, like, hey, I was really, really good at my position. But I know the Noel legends. I am not in the same breath as Peter Warrick. I can hang out with Pete. Pete treats me like that, but I was not fucking Peter Warrick by close to him, right? And that's okay. Like, we have to, like, be okay with understanding that there's levels to this shit. Right? That was the one thing. Deion Sanders was right. But, like, if I say Darrelle Revis and Deion Sanders, is Deion better? Probably. But I can, like, that Darrelle Revis can poke his chest out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my thought process when it comes to it. It's like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but like I just think we probably should figure out a better way to like.
I mean, those players are more exciting, but there still need a place for the compilers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's have a place for them though. Like, let's just not, like, hey, like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Whew. You can look at this list right here, man, and just see all these names because the 49ers have ranked among the NFL's 10 most injured teams in 12 of the last 13 seasons. And after 5 training camp practices, the injuries are already adding up. Sad news that Mike Evans, the former Tampa Bay wide receiver, was dealing with some quad issues in San Francisco. And De'Zhaun Stribling, the Ole Miss wide receiver, hamstring. Ricky Pearsall, we did cover that last pod, I believe. His season-ending knee injury sucks to talk about. Christian Kirk, calf. Jordan James, ribs. Then you have Kalen Black, abductor. Mikali Kamara, knee. Keon White, abductor. Mustafa, hamstring. Vidarian, lower ankle. And a couple more names on this list as well, including George Killies and the head coach as well, Kyle Shanahan. But besides Shanahan, the players have been getting banged and dinked up during this training camp process. So just wanted to show you guys and give you guys updates on any of my 49ers fans out there or any fans of these particular players on this list, because there's a lot of them for sure. So get well soon to everybody on this 49ers injuries list.
Yeah, I mean, some of those they're just soft tissue injuries. Some of them are just bad. Like Ricky Pearsall, just that from the University of Florida drinking that nut juice stuff. And that's what's problem with him. But like, damn, that's a lot of names. I like how Kyle Shanahan is on that list. Like, that's wild to have coaches when you start putting coaches on injury list. I don't know if like I would love to say that this, but now they got a head coach, a temporary head coach who's on that Colombian Bam Bam snorting coke off of black women's asses. You gotta go look into it. Like, so who knows what they are. Like he's nice, right?
No, that makes me go more to your side when I compare him to Derrick Brooks.
There is no comparison to him and Derrick Brooks. And I didn't even bring up Derrick Brooks. I just brought up murder, but like, he's not even D Brooks. Like, just look at this. These guys share the same.
That's kind of. Ooh, I take that back. Yeah.
Speaking of Derrick, since we're talking about one legendary Derrick Brooks to another Derrick Henry, let's take a look at the top active rushing yards leaders in the NFL. James, Derrick Henry is atop of this list at 1 with 13,018 rushing yards. Saquon, a lot of yards behind Derrick Henry. He is at number 2 with 8,356. Then you got Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, CMC, Alvin Kamara, and a surprise at number 8, man. Lamar Jackson, the only QB in the active rushing yards leader top 10 list. Just a crazy stat to have. David Montgomery, now a Houston Texan, and James Conner. But man, Lamar at 6,522 rushing yards is something that no one or rarely anyone can say they've done at that QB position. So, man, I was just super happy to see Lamar on this list. And, man, just looking at Derrick, and do you think anybody can catch him anytime soon, James, when it's all said and done? Because he has a comfortable lead over Saquon.
I don't think so. I think, like, I'm looking at some of those guys and how much longer they have, like, because Derek's been playing since what 20? He's over 10. He's over 10 years, right? Got to be over. Damn, like, got to be because he hasn't been getting. He had 1 year when he was down, so he's got to be like 12. I don't see it. Saquon will have to play for another 6 years, 6-7 years. How many years has Saquon been in the league?
Saquon has been in the NFL. Let me look up the exact date on this one for you guys. Let me see. 2018. Let me pull this list back up for you guys. Sorry about that. Let me pull this up. Waiting on this to load. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see where it's going. All right. Sorry about that. We'll pop it back up. James, if you hear me, it says Saquon was drafted in 2018.
Okay, so we're in
26.
This is 8th year. Yeah, and then Derek was drafted in.
Derrick Henry was drafted in. Let me look that up as well. He was drafted in the year 2016. So this is his 11th season. 11th season.
He was drafted 2016. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-year difference.
Yep. Yeah, he's done for. Yeah, Saquon, I'm sorry. You can't.
I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I just always assumed Derrick Henry was a little bit older, or not, or Saquon was a little bit younger, I should say.
And Josh Jacobs was 2021.
Yeah, this is a crazy, but man, Derrick Henry, man, when it's all said and done, he is crazy. He has crazy numbers for sure.
Aaron Jones been around about the same time. I'm trying to say yes, but it ain't looking like it's
all the Titans had back then.
Yeah.
Man, he is. Shout out Derrick Henry, man. North Florida's finest for sure, man. He is just a man amongst boys out there from high school to college and still in the NFL. He's still the top of the top in terms of athleticism, in terms of just being a dog on that field. Derrick Henry, man, hasn't disappointed in a long time.
Jonathan Taylor, if Derrick Henry retires after this year, Jonathan Taylor is the closest, the best shot, because he has 4 years. Derrick has 4 seasons on him.
Did you see the clip when Ryan Clark and Derrick Henry were talking, and he was saying do you think Ryan Clark would take him 1-on-1 in his prime?
No, I think Ryan Clark would be crying like he did when he lost his job on the pivot. Like Ryan Clark is crazy to even make that statement.
But they showed some highlights of his. He was knocking people out.
Ryan Clark is not. Have you seen what Derrick has done to DBs?
Yeah.
Like Derrick literally he spun one around and used him as a lead blocker.
Who is the Redskins? Dude?
He smacked what's the DB? Jay-Z used him in the song lyric once. Josh Norman.
Yeah, there we go.
Josh Norman, poor Josh Norman.
Yeah, he was good.
Like Josh Norman just smacked. But, I'm not saying he would lose every battle. Everybody wins some. But all right, you know what? Ryan might be a little smaller right now, retirement sometimes. Let's go. Ryan Clark, weight in his prime. All right, he definitely gotten smaller. 5'11", 205. And let's go Derrick Henry weight. All right. You know what? Y'all got it. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. 5'11", 205, 6'3", 252. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna argue this shit no more, dog. Like, he's giving up 52 pounds, dog. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, Ryan, and that's not saying Ryan no bitch. It's just stating that, like, bro, like, you know, we can play it.
Yeah, a little short.
You feel me?
So,
one cut.
okay, I got a question there.
What about when he runs up on you? What about when you break and he runs up
In
on
the
you?
hole, I win.
Huh?
And like if we do it quick,
In the hole.
if I'm the eighth man in the box,
RC.
The
If you run
linebackers
up
telling me it's
on
crazy.
Derrick,
he's tackled 100%.
Ryan.
We're talking about soon as if he gets
So you said
Ryan.
like if I get the ball and we meet right, like
In the
that,
hole.
right?
so Derrick
Ryan.
Henry in the eye, right?
You don't get it? Okay.
I'm the eighth.
You're
I'm
the
the eighth.
okay.
Right? He pushed it front side, right? He cuts it back and it's just
Ryan.
me and him.
I'm saying,
Right, you can't go nowhere else. Derrick Henry is tackled
like
100%.
if I cut back and you right there waiting in the
Yes.
hole,
If it's front side.
and it's me and you.
Yes, Derrick. Who else is in
Like,
here to
hold
play
on.
defense after
Hold
the
on.
Chiefs?
Fighting for your.
All right, so there was this show that I used to watch. They only did one season. It was great. It was called Lie to Me. And they talked about Michael. Can you rewind it back a little bit? Because I wanted to blow it up because I want y'all to see where Ryan Clark is officially trolling. Right. Like, hold on. Push down.
Front side.
And it's me and you.
Yes.
That smile is him like, yeah, like, no. Nah. He know that shit ain't happening. Now, cut back, Ryan might get him.
On the cutback.
On a cutback because his feet stop.
Okay.
But front side, full speed, man, just and I'm not saying he's not gonna make the tackle ever. I'm just saying, bro, like, come on, dog.
Yeah, most
Like, yeah, we wilding right now, bro. Y'all wilding, man. All right, we go on to the next thing, Jaden. Like, Ryan bugging, dog. Ryan lying like I'm shocked that Fatlock or the dude who was beating his wife ain't take that clip and go crazy on it.
I thought I didn't know something. I was like, damn, maybe I didn't know about Ryan Clark.
Now Ryan Clark, nice. Now he was out there hitting people. Now he wasn't no bitch, man. But he just that ain't got nothing to do with being a bitch. And now that's pure physics right there, brother. Like that's all that is, man. Yeah, like there's a lot of dudes who got a heart that's 6 feet under.
Man, I wanted to add this to the notes, James, because I wanted to finish off with a BS or bussin' bang. Now, this item is going to cause a lot of people to have something to say in the comments, in the chat, even in the comments of the video I'm about to put on the screen, because we got a crazy one. I know it's the summer. Things are heating up. Temperatures are skyrocketing, and fish fries are one of the things that people do to enjoy themselves. But we got a different type of fish fry. We got the vegan fish fry made out of grits. So let's look at this vegan
what
grits.
I don't even eat fish, but I'm intrigued. All right, go ahead. This. Okay, I like grits. We're putting it in a mold. So I'm cool with the grits. Now fried. This ain't nothing but a fried grit cake.
Yep,
Ain't nothing but a grit cake.
Shaped like a fish.
This is why, like, you know what? Like, this is why people get fought. I don't eat fish, right? I love grits. Just give me grits. But like, if I was going to eat fish and I bit into this and I got grits, everybody got to go. Everybody's got to go, man. Like, this is so unnecessary.
Well, they're saying this is fish and grits in one.
But what I'm saying is, like, what did you fry the fish? Did you fry the grit cake in fish oil? Like, it's a lot that had to go, because this isn't vegan. If you fried it where there were fish that were fried, then it's no longer vegan. You're still using animal fats. Like, boy, this is insane. I'm so tired. I'm so mad at this for the people who like, nah, dog, you gotta go, bro.
It looked good though. It do look good.
It looked like fried grits. I mean, I'm saying, now that I know what grits was. But like, why did you need? What was the point of doing this? Like, why? Why would you do this? Like, what made you say I need my grits to be shaped like it's shrimp, it's fish and grits. Like, just fry the fish. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna hold you. If it's about money, you could get like cheap fish.
Yeah, I don't know. It's for the TikTok.
Yeah, man. People doing too much, man. This is why. Nah, dog. Nah, you'll win. Like, you'll win your case if you go to trial. If you like murder somebody for serving you fried fish grits, like, they'll be like, you know what? I see. Like, nah. Like, this was you were lied to, and it was a what do they call it? Not heat of the moment. Crime of passion. It was a crime of passion. All right, the things that people do, man, are just insane these days. But like, yeah, I can't call it that. But just give me my grits with cheese, and I don't need all that extra shit. Like, don't mold it into anything. Matter of fact, I want my grits coming out thick as Luke dancers. Like, I want a scoop, and I just wanted to jiggle a little bit. That's how thick I want it. So like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, I'm mad for people who eat fish. Like, that person, matter of fact, I know what I'm doing. Hold on, let me pull up the email, because I'm gonna click on that. Click on that. Boom, I'm reporting his page. Like, he is a terrorist. Like, I don't even like this. This is a lady, a mom. Nope. I hope it was worth it. Right there. I'm reporting you to Elon. I hope your page gets shut down, ma'am. You ain't even the person who made the fish grits. It was it was somebody else. But for the fact that you put this and I had to see it, yes, ma'am. We're not today. Like, that would be insane, because that's damn, my God damn, like, people be preparing like fried fish, dog. Like, they get white bread, mustard, and hot sauce. You did all of that. But nah, it's but yeah, that's a wild thing right there, Jaden. I am upset. that just took. I was mad at Hertz for me renting a car and them not having the car again for the second day, and then them going to tell me they tried to call my phone while I'm talking on the phone to people and saying my phone was busy. But like, this just evaporated how mad I was at Hertz. Like, this is bullshit. But yeah, that's wild. So
definitely was wild. Definitely.
But you know what? I know what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go to Costco and get me a glizzy. Like, that'll make life better. But shoot. But that's all we got today.
That's all I had on today's episode, on the Hump Day episode of Big Games BS. Any last things to say to all the vegan fish lovers out there in the chat?
I just thought about it. Jib brought up a great point. one of his last games was when the Steelers had to play Denver, and Mile High he couldn't go because he's got, man, that's what Derek should have hit him with. And I'm sorry because I know people who have sickle cell, but Derek should have hit him with the hit him up. Don't one of y'all got sickle cell or something like that? You're gonna have a fucking seizure when you run up on me. Like, you can't even play in Denver. You can't play at the Mile High Stadium because you have adverse reaction to something. Shit. Like, it was just, I just thought about it, man. Ryan, like, that would have been hard. I know Derek wasn't there with that, but he said, one of y'all got sickle cell. I'm sorry, no disrespect to anybody with sickle cell. Like, that's wild. But like, Derek should have been like, hey man, you need to chill, bro. Like, before you come up to me, you know, you have one of the worst X-Men powers. Like, you can't even patch, your body can't patch itself up normally. But anywho, man, appreciate everybody for coming up with us on this hump day. Make sure you guys check out everything on the lives. Continue to post. Outside of that, appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.